This episode of Cousins and Sons is brought to you by Authentic Muay Thai Supply. This is an online fightwear store where you can find the best, most authentic Muay Thai protection gear, training gear, boxing gloves, and Muay Thai shorts straight up from Thailand. Good prices, good people. Check them out over at authenticmuaythaisupply.com and enjoy this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Nailed it, Pepper.
You'll be proud of someone. Just give me a chance to make your shelf. If you don't like me here, I will be someone else.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Welcome
To
back.
Cousins and Sons.
Yeah, guys.
As you can see, we have a guest, one of the homies.
The homie.
The homie, the brother, our brother, the third cousin,
Yep.
Skylar Sprague, everybody.
I'm the
Skylar.
son.
He is the son.
So yeah, he's the son. Yeah. So first son of the podcast, first guest. Figured we'd have the bestie.
Yeah, we go way back.
Way back.
The three of
But
us.
before we can go way back, we have to start every episode.
With some
With
knowledge.
some Travis trivia.
Travis
Then we'll find a little bit more about Skylar.
Alrighty, guys. You guys ready for this 15 quiz questions
on.
about Chi-Town, baby?
Chi-Town.
Chicago.
So should we explain that? So we're doing Chicago trivia because that's where we all met and lived together for. That's where our journey began together.
What's the first time the three of us all lived together?
Yeah.
Was in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Oh, nice.
We'll get into that later, but first, some
Do a
trivia.
little trivia on Chicago.
Okay, your first question. Nickname for Chicago. T starts with T and a W and a C.
The Windy City.
The Windy City. Do we just yell these out when it? Like,
Yeah.
Do we have to hit the buzzer?
Well, this one's kind of multiple choice, so
Are we like competing against each other?
no.
To the death.
That doesn't.
We're
go.
on the same
we tried
team.
That. We tried that. It doesn't go as well.
Just yell it out.
I
Okay,
mean,
gotcha.
It went good. I won 2 times. But
Okay.
I
well,
mean,
then
good
it didn't
for
go
him.
great.
but right now there's 3 of us, so it's a little bit harder of like just
All
yell
right,
it
all right,
out.
just yell it out.
It is
Got it.
multiple choice, but
Windy
if you
City.
know it before the question.
It'd be too hard to do that right now.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, now this next multiple choice is long as a motherfucker. So, number 2, which of these movies is not set in Chicago? My Best Friend's Wedding, Road to Perdition, The Fugitive, The Blues Brothers, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Home Alone, High Fidelity, Ghostbusters.
Which one isn't?
Yes.
Is-
Those
Isn't
last
Chicago.
4 are. Wait, is
What was the first two, Travis?
My Best Friend's Wedding, Road to Perdition, The Fugitive, Blues Brothers, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Home
This is
Alone.
a tough-
Road
I
Perdition?
want
High
to say Road
Fidelity.
to Perdition.
I want to say that too. All right.
It's either that or Best Friend's Wedding.
Should we all agree on that? No.
Yeah.
Let's all
It
agree
might
on.
be. Yeah.
Road to
Road to Perdition, I think, is a trick because
Okay.
it's like.
It
about
looks like
gangsters.
we find out at the end.
At the end.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Okay. God, I hate these ones. I hate
know,
these
these
ones.
ones
And
suck
so do the people.
It's so much anticipation.
So do the people.
Okay, you. All right, number 3. The estimated 2008 population of Chicago is. I'm just gonna go 8 million.
8 million.
6
Wait,
million.
This is when?
2
Wait, yeah, say
2008.
08. So
That's
when
when you moved out
Obama
there.
won.
That's when I moved there.
Yeah, there you go.
I pushed it over
So
the
then you
edge.
guys should
Million
know.
mark.
Yeah.
The actual numbers are really dumb. Like the first one says 8,853,114. So I'm just gonna give you guys the first numbers. So
Okay, yeah.
8 million, 6 million, 2 million, 1 million.
8 million.
Yeah.
That's a fucking safe bet. I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
8 million. I
There's
know.
like 20 million people in LA County. So
Yeah, and there's 9 million people in the state of Colorado, and I remember looking that up, being like, "Fuck, there's just about as many people in the city of Chicago than in the entire state of Colorado."
that makes
8 mil.
sense.
8
So-
million. We'll find out later, guys.
All right, question 4. Buddy Guy Freddie King, okay, Magic Sam, and Sile Johnson are leading proponents of what music genre?
Blues.
Bum, bum, dum, bum, bum.
Is that an option?
There are no options.
It sure is, bud.
It just says Chicago blank, so I'm imagining it is
Chicago
Chicago
Blues.
Blues.
Okay, okay.
Okay, Willis Tower, the tallest building in Chicago, was previously known as.
Sears.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
For a true Chicagoan.
If you're a true Chicagoan.
We say it's. Oh yeah, that's the Sears Tower, spelled W-I-L-L-I-S.
Yep.
This one's probably sad. What Native American tribe lived in the area that is now Chicago? Which tribe did all the white people kill?
So it's really what they're talking about. I thought we killed all of them.
Okay, it's actually it's multiple choice. So is it Pi, P-A-I, Potawatomis? Sorry, I laughed at that guy. The Pi Pi or the Palawayami?
Palawayami sounds fun.
Dude, I want to say it's the pie pie.
It does.
Or Pepe,
whatever.
P-A-I. Pepe sounds like
Payway.
Let's do pay.
another word for a penis.
Yeah, I have no idea.
My
Let's do pie pie.
We're gonna do that one.
Wow, as if we didn't do enough to the natives. No.
I know.
I'm just shitting all over their weird words. Okay, so we're going with Pepe.
Yep.
Yep.
Pie.
Next.
Dope. Chicago was in which county? Cook County, Alexander,
County.
Cook County.
Cook.
Jeez.
Guys, just fucking. This is Garen's ballpark.
Garen's been killing it.
Porn in Chicago.
Yeah. in Chicago in biblical terms.
Yeah, killing it. Question 8. The animal-inspired NFL team based in Chicago is the
Bear.
Bears.
Bears.
Is it a bear? Or is it a
Cub.
Or a cub.
is it a koala?
A baby bear.
Or it is a sock.
I see the Cubs are the baseball team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sock.
The socks.
They're so cute. Socks.
Number 9.
Ooh, it could
In
be the ball, too,
1983, Harold Washington became Chicago's first what?
African American mayor.
I loved it. It actually has B blank M blank. I shit you not. I believe it just says black mare.
Well, we already offended the Native Americans enough. I didn't want to keep it rolling.
No, I mean what you said
a
is
great
what you
idea.
should say. But apparently, quiz night trivia is like, yeah, first fucking black guy to.
Yeah, first black guy in charge.
Question 10.
First and last.
I was built. I don't know why this is in first person. I was built in Chicago in 1914, originally named as Weigman Park. I can seat 41,000 people. What am I? W blank field.
Oh, we're
Wrigley.
Wrigley Field. I
don't like reading as
You got it.
Wrigley
I got,
Field.
yeah,
Yeah.
Give it to him.
As Wrigley. Yeah.
That
How does
weirded
it
me
feel?
out.
You were Wrigley Field in that moment.
Okay, question 11. In 1955, Ray Kroc opened the first of something in the
McDonald's.
suburbs of Des Plaines
I don't know.
Ray Kroc.
near Chicago. What was it? It's the M's and a bunch of
McDonald's.
blanks. It's got to be McDonald's,
I
right?
think, yeah. How'd you know this?
Because I've seen
You've
the
seen the movie?
He saw the movie.
I
And
know
I've
it.
been actually I stayed at the foundation right out of high school when I was touring with Aaron.
Oh, well, look at him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can you, look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
I thought we knew everything about him.
Ronald McDonald over here.
Just holding shit back.
I
That's
knew
why we
that
play
because
trivia.
I'm very hungry. Right
So are we.
I haven't eaten yet. I'm fucking. Someone help me. Okay, and question 12. In 1994, the opening ceremony of what was held in Chicago?
Olympic.
It says S blank
Special
blank.
Olympics.
Blank.
Special Olympics.
S blank. How many blanks?
It's got S. It's got 3 blanks, but it starts with an S. I have no
Clearly,
fucking
we
idea.
Summer.
don't know.
Wow.
Summer
No.
Special Olympics. Summer Olympic Games.
Ooh.
Let's go with that.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
But I don't know why the opening ceremonies would be where it wasn't.
I have no
So I
idea.
don't think that's right, but maybe
Well,
it is.
we're going to go with it, but we probably got it wrong.
Okay, question 13. What is the missing word in the Chicago quote? Chicago is unique. It is the only complete blank city in America. Charles Merriam, unsuccessfully mayor, from Charles Mayer, the unsuccessful mayoral candidate in 1911. Why would they quote this fucking guy?
Unsuccessful.
Sounds like a, yeah.
Could you say the quote again?
Chicago is unique. It is the only complete blank city in America. And then livable, corrupt, hopeless, hopeless.
Hopeless. Process.
Hopeful, hopeless, corrupt, livable.
Oh, bless.
Livable.
My guess would be livable.
Livable. It's the only livable.
Yeah,
Is it
that
though?
makes sense to me. Yeah, I felt like I would have
Hopeful,
never
like,
built a
or-
city there if it was up to me.
Yeah, it's
No. I
not.
would've
It's
got
not
there.
really livable, actually.
It's barely livable.
Dealing with the wind and swampland, I would have been fucked.
Arguably more livable in LA
Yeah, arguably.
Yeah,
until it's cold.
Yeah.
but it's never.
Okay, we got 2 questions left. Chicago is home to how many Fortune 1000 company headquarters? 7,
Ooh.
17, 57, 207.
I feel like it's gonna be like
It's a big number.
207.
Let's go for it.
Let's go 207.
We're going big or going home, boys.
Real big,
Yep.
all the way.
Okay, 15, your final question. What are the missing 2 words in the Chicago quote? I miss everything about Chicago except J blank and F blank, Gary Cole.
I miss everything about the jabronis. The J blank and the what blank?
F.
J blank and F blank. The Jesus fuck? I have no idea.
Wait, who said this?
J. Cole.
Gary Cole.
Gary Cole.
Oh, Gary
Except-
Cole.
I'm guessing they have this worded very funny, but except the J blank and the F blank.
June and February.
Oh, why?
Because
It's hot as fuck in June and it's cold as fuck in February.
Okay.
That might not be right, but that's actually the
Okay.
most accurate
Yeah.
Lincoln thinking.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good quote.
It's very, doesn't mean anything unless you exactly know what it is.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Okay, here we go.
Or July.
So now we're gonna go review the answers.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
You got
okay.
question 1 correct. Obviously, the Windy City.
July.
2 incorrect. Ghostbusters not set in Chicago.
Oh,
was
it's at NYC.
I believe so. Or I think it might just be a fictitious city. I can't remember.
Gotham.
Fucking Gotham City. That place. That fucking place.
with Ghostbusters and bats. All right. Question 3. You totally got that wrong. It was 2 million.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
We're
you know what?
way
I
off.
think I was probably thinking the whole metro
Chicagoland,
area.
Yeah.
Question 4 correct. That was Chicago Blues. Question 5 Sears Tower correct. I spelled it wrong though, so it says it's wrong. I'm sorry.
Give it to you.
Just spell it.
Question. Yeah, fucking stupid. I can't spell anything. I'm sorry. Question 6. The Native American tribe was the Potawatomis. Potawatomis.
Should have gone with that.
So
Well,
Pei was incorrect.
They all fucking sounded the same.
Yeah.
Cook County was correct.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears was correct. Black Mayor was correct. Oh, Jesus. Wrigley Field was correct. McDonald's also correct. Oh, Soccer World Cup instead of Summer Olympics. 13, it says you got incorrect. It's corrupt. So it says Chicago is unique. It's the only it's a completely corrupt city in America, considering most of the mayors of Chicago are in jail right now still.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Well, that's
For
also
what?
like
What'd they
that's
do?
also where Al Capone was.
Embezzling.
That's where Al Capone and all that stuff. That's where his start was out there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. And 15, 14 is 57, not 207.
Okay.
We went
we
big
went
and
big.
we're going home.
We lost.
We think it's way bigger.
We couldn't even find the way home.
And 15th was January and February, not June and February.
Oh, see, but it's still the same
But-
basis as what you're thinking.
Yeah.
It
No,
is
that
freezing.
was
It
yeah.
is freezing.
I got you.
I see. You
It's
get
cold as
like
fuck,
half
yeah.
a credit.
Track
on it.
Yeah.
Gary Cole.
Like when I said, I think I mentioned this before. When I moved to Chicago to go live with Skylar, I moved January 2nd. And we walked to the Chipotle down the street, which
Yeah.
was like maybe a mile and a half. And we were there for 4 hours because it was
Just
too
holed
cold
up.
to walk back
Oh.
to our place.
Yeah, you got to be intentional when you're like going somewhere there
Yeah.
during those months.
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Are really hungry.
Yeah.
Very hungry.
There was
Yeah.
moments I remember when all 5 of us would be holding each other to cross the street because it was so windy.
Oh yeah. I've been blown out in the middle of the street before.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
our last year there, the three of us, we went through. It was I think the third largest snowstorm in
Yeah.
the history of snowstorms in Chicago history,
Yeah.
which was a doozy.
Which is a lot of snow.
And we went for a beer run.
Yeah, we did. We went for a beer run.
Dude, the guy we got our weed from actually, they went out and smoked a joint on frozen Lake Michigan that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how the hell they did that.
Very
Kept-
carefully.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very carefully.
There's a team.
I'd
There's
be
a
way
team of
too
them.
fucking paranoid to do that. It sounds terrifying.
Oh.
Oh, like
Yeah.
yeah. Well, luckily, like none of the Chicago or Lake Michigan, I mean, is very deep. You go all the way out there, you're still up to your waist.
Well, no, it's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that.
No, but it's for a while. It's like only up to here for a while.
For a while, but
For a while, I mean, it's still.
I mean, I didn't say that we were all the way out on Lake Michigan.
All the way-
They weren't a mile
all
out
the
to
way
sea.
to Michigan.
I was like, they were just like standing on the shallow end.
Yeah, it was thick enough. They
But-
survived.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was Chicago experience.
Well, I had the epiphany this winter living there, which is like, yeah, it's cold as fuck. It lives up to its reputation for sure, but you don't spend your time outside. Like, there's so many indoor activities to do.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
have to get from A to B.
Yeah,
You're only
yeah.
outside 10% of the time. The
Yeah.
rest of the time, you're
Well,
inside,
and-
like perfectly cozy.
Yeah.
and
Uber
getting
didn't
drunk.
exist when we lived there either.
Uber also did not exist.
And that changed the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still.
So that's not bad.
That was the thing. That's the one thing I don't miss though about the winter time, and I realized it when I went to New York and stuff is having to like you said, you just walk to one place to the next, which is fine. But it's the taking on and putting on all your layers over and over again.
You get into a bar and first 15 minutes is just
undressing, scarf, sweater, jacket, sweater, scarf.
It's all about that layers game.
All the layers. And then it's like, oh, you guys, we're on our last drink. We're going to the next spot. It's like, all right, got to put back on my
Put it all back
jacket.
on.
It's bad. But yeah.
Like I said, you got to be intentional, which is good. Good way to go through life.
I always liked it though when people would say when we first moved to Chicago and like go back to Colorado because that's where we're all from, and they'd be like, "Well, you're from Colorado. You're used to the cold." It's like no, it's a different
kind of cold.
I didn't realize I didn't fully appreciate the term bone chilling.
Yeah.
Before living in Chicago,
Right.
But you're inside for 10 minutes and you're like still kind of cold, just like it
Yeah.
gets into your core.
No, it is straight. Like yeah, it goes through your layers. There's a reason why you're wearing layers. You go to Chicago. I realized when I moved there how much I actually am okay with the snow. Snow is actually not cold. Like it was like going back to Colorado when it snows. It's like, oh, this is actually nice.
Yeah.
But then when it snows there, it's like, no, it's a whole different cold. Where you're like,
Colorado's like a refreshing cold. Chicago's just uncomfortable and shitty.
It's just cold.
yeah.
But it's
Wet.
also like it wouldn't be Chicago without that.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's
no.
like everyone in the whole city is like there's this communal like we're surviving this together for 6 months out of the year.
Oh yeah.
And like there's that like hardened attitude, like battle worn thing that you like it's a badge of honor kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like it wouldn't have the same flavor, that city,
Yeah.
without the
And that whole
Because there's no better city for fall and spring.
oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the moments when we were hot, coming home from work, and
You still appreciate
I
it.
still appreciate it. Which is yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of segueing into this situation. I mean, we all lived in Chicago together, but our story even like connecting the dots for each other. Like me and Skylar, we knew of each other in high school.
In high school.
Way back
Yeah.
when.
Have you talked about forensics on
I
this
haven't
thing
even
yet?
talked about forensics, which is because
We were into cutting open dead bodies on crime scenes.
We did forensics, which was speech and debate, which was even. It's funny, you have to explain yourself constantly. Forensics, no, not the science. Oh, speech and debate, no, I wasn't up there debating.
No, I'm in the
No,
NFL.
NFL.
Oh,
What-
you're a
yeah.
football player?
We
No,
were
the
doing
National
football,
Forensics League.
Forensics League, and it's like we did interp. Oh, what is that? And then explaining, taking a whole
It's speech and
script.
debate. It's called forensics because it's the dissection of the written word.
Yeah.
Is why it's called forensics.
So it is still a
The
section.
trivia continues.
Oh my goodness, we're learning things.
And so, but yeah, we competed against each other all through high school. Went to different high schools, competed against each other, and it was more or less we just saw each other on weekends, and we go against each other. And
So we never like hung out,
we
but
never-
we
never
were
hung
always
out.
in the humor category, so
Yep.
we were always competition.
yeah,
But friendly.
yeah,
for the
friendly
most part.
competition. And yes, if you want to know, he always beat me. So there you
Well,
go.
I know.
It's-
I didn't want to say it.
I know I had to say it. I just wanted to beat the elephant in the room. But-
The viewers know how good you are at trivia. It's okay.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure,
It's
yeah.
fine, it's
the
fine.
second they turn on the video, they'll know you're smarter.
They're like,
Oh,
there
hey,
we
you
go.
can wear the headphones.
But yeah, no, it was one of those where we didn't hang out, and then I was deciding, I did the Second City boot camp for kids once with Steele actually, and then once again a year prior with another friend, and then I was like, well, I went to school, and then I was like, okay, I want to go out to Chicago and just do Second City, and I came out to Chicago to visit, and as I'm crossing the street
For like a week.
yeah, for a week, I was just there for a
Yeah.
week. No, but even before moving.
Yeah.
I came out, was
No, yeah,
crossing
yeah.
the street. Yeah, I was just there for a week. Crossed the street, and as I'm crossing the street, Skylar's crossing the street at that exact moment.
I'm like, is that?
And I'm like,
Garon?
wait, is that Skylar? I'm like, what? No way. How you doing? What's up? I'm like, yeah, I'm here for Second City. He's like, yeah. He moved to Chicago right out of high school and did Second City. So I was like, hey, how's it going? It was one of those just quick passing moments, and knowing that he was there. Fast forward 6 months later, and I decided I'm going to move to Chicago. I hit him up and was like, hey, can I come stay on your couch for a week while I look for a place? Move out, go out for a week. We're talking, we're hanging out, enjoying it. And then it's like, well, screw it.
You want to just move
yeah,
in
you just want to move in.
to
and-
my shithole
yeah,
rat apartment?
It was a shithole experience, which was, the ceiling fell in.
Was it just you and Liz at that
It was
point?
just me and Liz.
Yeah.
And
You
yeah,
guys each had your own room? Is that what it was?
me and Liz?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then so me and Garon split a room. This apartment was so weird. You had to walk through
This was
our
the-
room to get to Liz's room.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Hence why one night.
Right
when-
by the L train.
one night when she had a guy stay over. He went to the bathroom, which is past our room. He went back to her room. Didn't realize he
Gets
wasn't
into
in
bed
her
and
room,
starts cuddling with Garon.
cuddling with me. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Dude, I was like, yo, bro. And he's like, oh my God. And I hear him in the other room going there. He's like, dude, I feel so bad. I just crawled into bed with your roommate. I was like, oh my
dude,
God.
that'd be funny if he gave you a reach around.
I was ready for it, you know?
I was just watching the whole thing
I
unfold.
know. It's like, oh my gosh.
No, this place, like a few months after we moved out of this apartment, Liz was on the train passing by, and the building was on fire.
Yeah.
Like, only a few short months after we moved out, we're like, dodge
well,
that, boy.
Yeah, she texts us like, oh, it's burning down. We're like, well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. And so, yeah, you could feel it rumble every time the train passed by. That's how close we were to the train station.
Classic city living.
Yeah.
So we were there for a year,
Yeah, we were there for a year.
and then are we just staying our whole saga at this point?
Yeah.
How much time do we have on this end?
About 45
Minutes.
minutes, 30 minutes. But yeah, no, pretty much moved there for a year. And then later on, we kind of what Steele's mentioned before is I hit him up and was like, hey, we're moving to a new spot. You want to move out to Chicago? He moved out. And it's funny because that was their moment of meeting each other when Steele moved out to Chicago. But in all this process, kind of fast forwarding and everything, we moved to LA together. Then Skylar left to move to Nashville. Steele moved then to Nashville. They lived together in Nashville for a while. And then now Steele's back here. And it's just crazy. Like,
And I'm back in Chicago.
Full circle. Yeah, and then Skylar moved back to
circuit.
Chicago.
Now
I'm
he's
already
back
confused.
to Chicago. Yeah, exactly. Now he's back in Chicago. And it's like a whole full circuit. And we before he moved to Nashville, we ended up getting, because we're cousins, and he's been in our life for so long and experienced stuff. He's like the honorary cousin. So we actually have a tattoo that matches. That is
The cousins.
Yeah.
yeah.
We actually have 2 tattoos.
We do
that
have
all
2
match,
tattoos.
'cause
Yeah.
We're that cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like having that, it's a C, and I'll probably put a picture up or something like that for you guys to see our.
The C. It's this one right here.
Yeah, it's actually.
yeah.
For those of you on YouTube right now,
Yeah, there it is. So
it's the C because we all had the same journey, which is Colorado, Chicago, California.
yeah,
Cousins.
yeah, and we're
cousins.
cousins, and there's a 3 line through it, and then even at the time we
Yeah.
had a small little Coffee at Midnight production company,
Coffee at midnight. Yep.
which was great. All of our ideas came with. It wasn't because we
The
met
C.
Virginia, but it was because of Coffee at Midnight. But yeah, that's kind of a run through. What are some memories that, when you think of Chicago, of us?
Well, all I knew when he was going to be moving in, all I knew was Garen's cousin was coming, and the only thing I knew about him was that his name was Steele,
Wait a
and
second,
that
don't say the next part.
and that he had been a
Don't-
troublemaker.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So I'm like, oh God, who the fuck is about to like move in to our place?
No, it is true.
But
yeah.
then
Yeah, it's true.
the day you got there, I was the only one home. Everyone else was working, so I was the one to let you in. And so like you get there, you call me, and I go downstairs, and there's this little blonde kid with his 2 bags, and like, I let him in. He lays a big hug on me, and we've been in love ever since.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, and that immediately became the 5 of us that were living in that place. Like, and just an immediate we just clicked so well.
That apartment was awesome.
That was like a 10-pole
Yeah.
lightning bolt year
No,
in all
yeah,
of our
there's-
lives.
I've been here in LA for 7 years, and I'm already, but I still, even though I was only in Chicago for like 2, the memories when I think about them are more impactful from Chicago than from LA. Like I have, when I sit down and think
Yeah.
about LA, I have my memories and I understand that, but just that was our college years,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had an island in our kitchen, which was the perfect size for beer pong.
Oh yeah, beer
So
pong
that whole
every
year,
night. When you have
pretty much
5
every night.
roommates, there's always a party in some time or I'd come
Especially
home
when you're
from
all
work.
alcoholics.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it was Chicago, you know.
it was
Yeah.
Chicago, yeah.
We were living
Things
up
are
to
the
it.
same there.
I jokingly say, I was like, I've never weighed over 130, and that was only when I lived in Chicago because we were drinking all the time. That was. and
Oh,
that's-
really? I
yeah.
didn't know. I thought you were like even smaller then.
No, I got up to right before we moved here. I got up to, I think I hit 130. Which,
Jeez, that.
yeah,
Fatty.
fatty.
Yeah, it's hard for Garon to put on weight, but we should get you drinking then.
It's the only cure to this, I guess, is drinking more.
Yeah.
Um,
But then, yeah, it was like you were the major push to like come out here.
I'm so-
Because it had always been in my mind, like, of course, move to Hollywood, pursue movies
Yeah.
and all that. And the time came, and we
Yeah.
came out.
I know.
And
I
it
was
was-
like, I'm gonna move. I
We
was like-
started from nothing.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna go. You guys want to go? And then it just was like one person after the next was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's Steele. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. Skylar. Yeah, Tom. I'm gonna go.
But luckily, Eric had the bright idea for us to go to Alamosa for 2 months and
Oh my God,
work the
that was a
potato
terrible
harvest.
idea. I should have known that was a terrible idea. I don't know why.
I'll never forget.
Hey, we'll never forget those pictures of us working on. Travis, you're gonna love this. All three of us worked on the potato farm.
Yeah. Oh, Travis loves that I'm from
The pepper potato farm.
Pepper
potato
potato
farm.
pepper
Actually, it
potato.
wasn't the
Pepper
pepper
potatoes?
one, but it was this other one, and it's terrible.
How many,
It was-
how many potato farms
How
are out
quickly
there?
he forgot.
Oh, quite a
There's
bit.
a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I mean, I don't know the exact number, but you know what? We could Google it.
There's lots and lots of.
Well, you told us that Colorado is actually a bigger producer of potatoes than Idaho.
No, I think it's like second to Idaho,
Oh,
but
it's-
I don't think.
it's close,
Yeah,
though.
I don't think like people.
Don't take away all Idaho.
That's all
has.
Idaho has.
Oh, I know.
That's all
I'm
they
sorry,
got,
Idaho.
man.
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm almost positive that's true, but yeah.
Potato farming.
No, oh God, don't ever work potato harvest.
I'm just glad that you guys had to do it for like what? Well, you didn't even work for the first like month. We were waiting
We
2
were
Yeah,
months.
waiting
it was a whole
the
stupid
season has to be
process.
just
But hey,
right.
we were new to life too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it made a little extra cash just to get out here, and then me and Skylar went up to Denver and worked for Sabra Hummus doing promotions,
Giving chips away on the
giving
street.
chips away on the street, chips and salsa.
There's no way in hell I'd take a street chip from. I mean, you guys look like
It's
nice
prepackaged.
gentlemen, but there's no way I'm taking a street
Hey,
chip from you.
we cleaned up good. This is back when I actually had short hair and no facial hair
I
whatsoever.
still don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck your face looks like,
It's true.
Aaron.
a lot of people, a
I
lot
know.
of people
you need
don't.
to shave that
A
shit.
lot of people don't. There's
got
people
like
I
a-
work with that still don't. I'm like, wow, you guys have been here for so long, yet that's how long I haven't shaved my face. And
I mean, I
cut my
like
hair.
the beard, but you know.
It's
I want to see your beautiful face.
He's a good-looking guy.
takes commitment to cut it off.
But yeah, we. Long story short, we made no money from those 2 months, and then like literally, I don't know, our LA like just getting here was literally starting from like nothing.
Oh, scratch.
Like when we finally found a place, it was all hardwood and tile, and literally the first 2 weeks I was sleeping on a pile of clothing on the ground because we had nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And
I
it took
slept
us
on an
so
air
long to
mattress
find
for
jobs.
probably like
yeah.
A while.
maybe a year.
yeah.
No, it wasn't. Maybe close to a year though.
Yeah. It took us all
Over
months
6
to
months,
find a
yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
No,
like
it
it's
did.
crazy. Like you don't know what the hell you're doing when you go somewhere new. I think that's why a lot of people don't last when they go somewhere new.
Yeah.
It's because it's just like
Yeah. It's a pain to start over.
Yeah, and you just don't know anyone. You don't know how to find a job. You don't realize how many kind of even like if it's going to be a kind of a job that's worth it, is you have to get through other people.
Yeah.
You don't know
Right.
nobody. You
No,
are
you don't know
screwed.
nobody, yeah.
And I swear we kind of came in at a harder time too. A, we were younger, and B, I don't think the economy was was definitely worse than it is now. And so it's just like there wasn't as many jobs, or they could be a lot more picky about their
Yeah,
employees.
they could be
Dude,
a lot
now,
more picky, yeah.
Dude, you could be just you could be
Yeah.
a shitty ass
Yeah.
employee. Uber didn't exist.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Like we
Yeah.
looked too young, even being 21, 22. Looked way too young for anybody to take us seriously, even whether we were
Yeah.
lying or not about our experience. You know, it's like
Yeah.
even if we had 9 years, we still were 2021 looking like we were 14 years old. Like nobody was gonna hire us over we're in LA. Like I mean,
I'm pretty
even-
sure I'd walk in and they'd laugh at me.
Yeah,
You
You're like
Get out of
him?
here.
Him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, just to get our first like restaurant jobs, we had to like hound these places just constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we worked, and my first job. I mean, all my jobs have gotten because I've known somebody. I mean, I got my job at the gym
Because of Ben.
because of Ben. You got your job at the gym because of
Because of
Ben.
Ben.
I got it technically because of you, but yeah, we got it because of Ben. And then I got my job at my job now
Because of someone at the gym.
because of someone at the gym.
And
It's
then
all
and then
connected.
I got my job after that because of you.
yeah, it's just you light it all up, and
Yeah.
then and then your other job.
I
you
have
kinda
my job
do-
now because of you. And
Yeah. And the restaurant
no,
downtown, I got it from you.
And knowing people is the most important thing in this fucking city.
Yeah.
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 If you're just all alone, you end up,
Yeah.
fighting people in dumpsters and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah.
I think that goes for any big town.
It's true.
Yeah, it's just
You think, oh, I'm just gonna dive into this giant city and just like swim around with like,
Yeah.
there's just people and opportunities and things, but it's everything's
Yeah.
like
They have to
already
trust-
in a niche.
Yeah.
And,
and a
and so
club.
many people are out for just hungry in general. So it's like they have to trust you to be able to take you, to even give you opportunity. Like I mean, I've been here 7 years, and yeah, I've had opportunity, but it wasn't until we decided to do jiu-jitsu, which then gets us to Steve Simone, which then gets us to here, which then gets us to Travis, which then gets us to learning.
Right.
Like it's all that connection of like. But I've been there 7 years. Yeah, I beat myself up and go, oh, I should have done this sooner. But at the same time, it's like, no, this last year we've busted our butts doing stuff. Like,
yeah.
And not even in the last year. It's honestly been in the last
6 months. Yeah.
But it
Already
all
doing
connects. It all
episode.
connects on learning about each. Meeting new people and stuff like that. But also gaining that trust and being comfortable with that. Being. Because when you're new to this place, it's like, well, I'm still just trying to figure out how to pay my bills, let alone be personal.
Do what I want to do.
Do what I want to do. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Right. Which is exhausting in itself because you're working, another full-time job.
And like, and then for the people who can pull it off too, like, I mean, we're in the service industry, but I don't want to be. But then you have people like, I mean, Travis, you're not in the service industry.
No.
Not anymore, but he killed, like he's.
I mean, technically, I am.
Yeah,
for this
he's
fucking place.
for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, but everything's
but
a
this-
service industry kind of in a way. But at the same time, it's you are doing what.
I don't have to deal with I can tell people to fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Right.
You're not
kiss
dealing with
anybody's
people
ass or
and
anything.
their
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to deal with like rich white women who fucking are upset because they exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's that's something you have to deal with in itself. But
Yeah, so how's Chicago going?
Good. It's because I just hit like a year being back there, and like we were just talking about, like starting everywhere new for a first time is like, and it was weird. I've never moved back anywhere before.
Yeah.
This is my first time moving back to a city I already knew, so I'm comfortable in the city and getting around and everything, but it was still like no real friends really, and then like no real job connection. So, and I've done this to myself a good handful of times now where I'm like, all right, now I have to start over again. But I'm way older now, so it's like, oh my god, I feel like I'm back where I was, like moving back here.
Yeah.
When I was when we were 21.
21, yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I already have like a good amount of acting things going, and I did when I had moved there,
Yeah.
which is so already it's like better than living there the first time, which is nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything upcoming? Like any plays or anything that you got going on?
Yeah, but not in Chicago.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he also
but-
tours around.
Yeah, I'll be this summer. I'll be in Ouray, Colorado, which is a city that it's not a city, it's a town. No, the population is like 800 people.
But the theater is
the theater
pretty
is
famous,
legit.
right?
So this will be my third summer doing some Shakespeare there.
Oh, nice.
It's just this awesome group of people. John and Kay Kissingford, shout out.
Shout out.
And their son Nate, they run this theater company. They do like 3 shows a year.
What's the name of the theater company?
Upstart Theater Company.
Upstart.
And this Shakespeare thing is called No Holds Barred. Get it? Because he's the bard. And it's basically, I won't like get too into it, but it's like a first folio, no rehearsal method of doing Shakespeare, where we don't rehearse the play ever before putting it up.
Oh, wow.
You just fly in on Tuesday. You've studied your lines, but you have like a cue script with you. Mm-hmm. So you have your lines and your cue line, but you don't know who you're talking to some of the time, or you don't know how long you're going to be on stage.
That's
like
crazy.
You could be on stage for 5 minutes just waiting to hear your cue line, and as soon as you hear it, then you do your thing. And it's supposed to be like big and acted out, and you can make hard contact with the audience and like mess with people. So it's just super high energy and like lots of fun and very accessible for people that like aren't like Shakespearean people, you know.
Right.
So yeah, this will be my third summer going out there. It'll be Oberon in Midsummer Night's Dream, which is going to be super fun. King of the Fairies.
That's fun.
Yeah, and we go out there. My buddy Jake, who is also a forensics guy.
Jake.
He's from this.
So good.
He's from Ouray. So we stay with his old acting coach, who is Terry Kaiser. Who is, if you've ever seen Weekend at Bernie's, he is Bernie. And he's just this like incredible like 80-year-old retired actor just living his life in the mountains, just having a great time. So we stay with him. It's just a super cool experience.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think you've told me about this guy before.
yeah, he has the energy of a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's incredible. So that it's cool because it's like a great paying acting gig, and it's only a 6-day long commitment. It's not like going somewhere for 3 months, being in the whole rehearsal process of a show.
Sure.
So that's super fun. And And then in September, I'll be back there doing the show Stupid Fucking Bird, which is a very cool play. It's basically kind of an adaptation, spoof, if you will, of The Seagull by Chekhov, which is a very well-known in acting
Is there
circles.
going to be a gun in it?
Yeah.
There's got to be a gun.
Yeah.
Chekhov.
It's Chekhov. I know. Yeah, I come out with a gun at the very end of the show.
Boom. Spoiler.
Oh, big
Spoiler.
bang.
But
Spoiler.
I'm very excited about that. I'll be playing Khan in that show. And it's again, like, you kind of talk to the audience in the middle of that play, and it's just real snappy dialogue back and forth.
Break the fourth wall.
Like, the show starts with me walking out, sitting on stage, looking at the audience, and I say, the play will start when somebody yells, "Start the fucking play." And then I wait.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's how the show starts.
That's badass.
And yeah, like, I've seen that.
What
I've
if
never seen
nobody
it
says
before.
it? That's amazing.
What if nobody said? Then I keep waiting. I don't know. Maybe I'll learn from my stand-up in the next few days.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So yeah, it's super fun. It's just a great group of people, and that'll be this. I just keep getting asked back there, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Just in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And it's cool because, like, more than half of the town's population sees the show.
Yeah, I mean.
So, like, you do a show Friday, you're walking around Saturday,
you're
and from
probably
across the
huge.
street, people are like, "Hey, saw you guys last night. You
That's
guys were great." You're
awesome.
like, "Thank you, thank you."
It's like their yearly thing that they look
Well,
forward
yeah,
to
it's
doing.
like
That's
of
what it
course
is.
you're gonna go see
Yeah,
the Shakespeare
yeah.
show, because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hike.
Have you been to Creed, Colorado?
I've never actually been,
Ben?
but the Creed Theater is, like, very reputable, very well known.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty hard to get into. Like, that's a big equity house.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah. The town of Creed is an interesting place. It's like a
it's pretty small, right?
it's like a surf town in the middle of the mountains. Swear to God, there's surfboards there. Yeah, there's like surfboards on top of
Surf down the
jeeps.
mountain, bro.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's a pretty dope town. I'd probably like it more if I didn't live or grow up 45 minutes away from it.
Well, that's another one. There's, like, just so many that I keep finding of these, like, incredible theater companies in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no.
It
And
seems
it's,
like that's where they
great
are.
quality theater. Yeah.
I wonder if it's because of I mean, they're just old. I mean, it's just because they're all old theaters, right? They're usually held in. At least Creed was.
Yeah. Well, like, the one in Uray is it's like an old opera house.
Right. Yeah. So I'm wondering maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I don't know. It's just, like, different. And then, John and Kate, who run this company, they've lived everywhere, and they just happen to live there now and are still doing the theater thing. Yeah, it's cool. Like, we did the show Our Town last fall,
Good
which
one.
is a huge it's classic,
Yeah.
huge ensemble cast, and it was me and only, like, one other guy that were brought in. He was from Denver, I'm from Chicago, but the rest of the cast was just, like, kind of townspeople.
Yeah.
That a lot of them hadn't really done theater before. So yeah, it was just, like, super cool to, like, have that mix of,
You
like,
probably were like the star walking in
professionals.
that place.
Oh, it was like part of their marketing, and an actor from Chicago.
It was
Oh
part
my
of their
God,
mar-
pressure's on. I hope I don't
That's
fuck
awesome.
this up.
Right. Coming to you from Chicago.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. It's cool. The Shakespeare thing is, like, kind of once you're in because the casting is flexible. Like, there's a lot of, like, gender swapping that goes on with the
Yeah.
casting. So it's like, unless I'm busy during this, I'll be doing this Shakespeare show, like, for the rest of until they die.
Oh, wow.
or,
Oh wow.
or I die.
When
Whatever
you're in,
comes
you're in.
first.
Oh yeah.
Which is
So,
cool.
yeah, it's
though.
super
Yeah,
fun.
hopefully.
Good
I'm excited
payday
to
every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice paycheck.
Yeah.
And it involves, like, everything that I have done before, like improv and just going out on stage without really a full plan of knowing what is going to be happening
Yeah.
and being comfortable with that.
You're
Which
gonna
is
go
like-
a little about tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna go a little bit.
Like tonight, yeah, bring it on.
I'm excited. You'll get to.
This, by the way, tonight will be my first time ever attempting stand-up.
And
I have, like, many hours on stage clocked, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I think it's gonna. Be, I think you're gonna
Well,
be good.
and this
Yeah.
part is nice to get into. Tomorrow will be a little bit different, but, like, for this one, it's more riffing set, which is good. But it's still,
Right.
I mean,
Because people know that you're not prepared.
yeah, exactly. But even then, it's
so
like
you get,
you just.
I don't know.
It's bad.
Would you say you get, like, a little bit more of a break from people on the improv set one?
It depends.
You still have to be good.
Well, they can heckle. So and
Right.
there's kind of some more crowd interaction.
Yeah.
See, I
because-
feel like heckling would actually help.
It kind of
that.
does because you can just say
Well,
fuck
it's funny
you, and
because
then, you know.
it's funny because
That can be
Travis even says, "Oh, do heckle, please heckle" during the riffing set. Yet nobody ever heckles, and I'm always like, "Guys, if you're not heckling, it means you're not paying attention." Like,
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
it's like,
That's why I always get on the back mic and just talk shit to you guys.
I know you're so good at paying attention.
yeah,
It's kind of my job, I guess.
Yeah.
which is not. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, with the riff, and the riff is fun to like. You might even do the riff tonight and think of something and be like, "Oh, that was funny," and then use it for your actual first set.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm
Like,
pretty good about probing you. Like if you say you don't know something about something, I usually ask you a question about it to help
Yeah.
you.
And I
to
like
move
what
along.
you, and again, just like with improv, as far as, and it makes more sense, Travis, you've said it a few times to people being like, when they don't know, well, I don't know anything about that. It's like, well, have a strong emotion towards
Yeah.
it or feeling towards
Talk
it.
about
You know,
not
yeah.
knowing about
Yeah, it's
it.
like, or it's like, yeah, do you love it or you hate it? How much do you love it or how much do you hate this or what, you know, rather than just like an improv. Being lukewarm about something isn't going to move the scene along, isn't going
Right.
to move anything along, you know,
Mhm.
like, so.
Oh yeah, you can see whenever like so I usually do two up top.
Yeah.
Like if I pull something out, like I just hate it.
Yeah,
or
right, that.
like it usually, like someone says, "Have you ever been arrested?" Like fuck the police, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
yeah. So just have a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that feeling and
And then talk
shoot it
about
right out of the gate with it and then talk about it and stuff. And
Mm.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I can't believe. Which again, who knows how? It's just on this point, it is improv. So it's
Whatever.
and you're
Yeah,
good
but
with
it's
that.
still improv alone.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing that got me from the get go. Like me, and it still is. Like it's just like, yeah, I did improv. I've been on stage, you know, and stuff. But now it's no, you're on stage by yourself.
Yeah. Well, and for me, the scariest thing about stand-up is the thing I really love about acting is that being able to hide behind the character. And
Yeah.
like, it's not Skylar up there. Like, give me a fake mustache and a fat suit, and I can talk like this all night, and I'll go all night.
Yes.
But be like, that'll be my instinct is to like go into character mode and like do
Yeah.
a monologue.
Yeah.
But to
Well,
like
Travis
to
could give
try to
you
go
a-
away from that.
He'd give you an accent. We did that one time.
Yeah.
They did that for a little while, but most stand-ups are afraid of it. The cup of characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It usually just ends up being a racist accent, if we're being honest. But
Yeah, it's true.
But like,
Yeah.
what? How could it not be racist? You could do anything.
I don't think doing an accent is racist, unless you're like doing it in a really fucked up way.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
like,
But
if you're doing
but it's funny.
But yeah, because it's like you can't pretend people don't talk that way.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, just that's it. It's a character. Fuck
their
you.
initial.
Yeah.
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 That's
Everyone gets offended, you know.
Oh yeah.
What are you
it's
gonna
almost
do?
impossible.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets offended. It's so hard not to.
But no, I'm excited. I love that you guys have just dove into this life.
Yeah.
we
I
saw
know.
you back in
We had talked about
January,
it.
and we're like,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
like,
it was
we're
all
gonna
talk
do it.
about it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all talk. We're like, we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it. Hopefully, we'll do it. And then, like, he talks about how when we did the karaoke for his birthday, when he did the karaoke.
Oh, in Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
we
was
threw
like
you up
one
there.
of those. We're like, well, we got to do it. We got to get up there, and then a week later, we're like, let's.
Yeah, because you were not wanting to go up there, but then you
No, I
got
didn't.
done, and you were like,
That was
That
so
was-
bad.
I might
was gonna
sign
do it
up again.
Yeah.
Put my name
I
in.
would have, but they
Yeah.
closed down.
They
Yeah, I
closed
didn't
down.
even get to do it. I was
5
all
minutes,
signed
by
up
the way.
in
Mhm.
5 minutes. Thank you.
Sweet. We got.
But yeah,
4 o'clock mark.
Well, that's a whole other like level of nervousness is singing on stage.
Yeah.
But this podcast isn't about that.
Yeah.
We've got nothing to say about that.
No, I mean, I guess now I'm just like, I think I'm kind of at least comfortable enough with being on stage to like now pay attention to what I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
before it's just hard just to even pay attention to that because
Yeah.
I was like so fucking nervous.
Hmm.
I think I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I can kind of start maybe like starting to really try and write things.
Yeah.
Starting to really try to work on stuff, but
Yeah, getting more specific.
Yeah, I mean,
tough,
I
though.
feel like we look more comfortable on stage now, even when moments are just like, well, that was bad, or oh, no one's laughing, or oh, but it's still that like, okay, we're going up there. We're
well,
gonna
you
do
guys
5
have just
minutes.
been
We're gonna do
clocking
it.
hours on stage.
We're just
that's pretty much
it's-
it. Just
that's
stage time.
Just stage time, stage time, constantly just doing that, and like, yeah, the amount we've done is cool to us because if you would have told me we would have done 100 mics back in January, I would have been like, that's gonna take us like at least a year to, you know, like how that's a lot. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine, you know.
Yeah.
And then to even do that now, it's like that's great for us. For others, it's like, oh, they do that in like a month. Travis hosting does 700 in like 3 weeks or something. But it's like,
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
it's a lot. But it's like, but for us, it's very much like that's that, that marker for us to kind of hit and then just keep going from there, and having this podcast be able to do and keep us accountable, because it is kind of about our journey in that, and then also have friends come on and talk about either their stand-up journey, or even just in general, just like kind of
what they're working on.
What they're working on, people in our lives and stuff like that. And especially you being in town was great, so that we could have you on and
It was perfect.
talk about all that, because it is you've been in our lives for 10 years, so
Yeah.
like, it's just like that whole growth of seeing everything, from it's been 10 years now. It's great.
Yeah. Doing
And
improv together
checking out
back
the
in
acting
Chicago.
life outside of LA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Seems
Right.
to be going well.
It is. I pretty much became a professional actor like 2 months after I left LA. Got my first like legit gig in Nashville, which I still have to this day.
Yeah.
And it's been great,
Yeah. That's dope, man.
which is cool.
Sometimes
dude.
When did you guys set this goal of 100?
We didn't really set the goal of 100. I think we started with, okay, we're going to do 2 a week. And we found out that wasn't enough. So then we were like, okay, well, let's do it 4 a week. And then we were
Yep.
like, okay, that's not enough. Let's do 4 a week, 2 times each.
Like we were
Or
if we
we'll-
could hit 100 by the end of the year, great. Then it started being like, oh wow,
we could easily hit
we're
250.
we're almost there at 100. Like we're like, so then I was like, sweet. At 5 months or so, that was our main goal of like, and that was only a few weeks ago when I realized it was in sight of being like hitting that mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then even now, once we hit 100, I want to even step it up,
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But it's like, that's great. We can keep doing that because, so it wasn't really a goal. It was just like, no, someone said one time, it's like, you can't really call yourself a comic till you bomb 100 times. So that's kind of where that came
Right.
into fact of a mindset of 100. And so even in that in our head, it was just like, oh my God, it's 100. We went up one time, it took forever for us to get up, let alone it's like, oh my God, we have to do this again. Okay, that's 2 times. All right, 3 times, like thinking of that big number. But then once you just do it, and it's like, then it just becomes something where it's like, no, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep doing, the jitters are still there. I mean, I'm sure tonight performing in front of you for the first time is going to be weird. No one besides people at the fourth
You'll
wall.
be our first friend.
Yeah, you'll be our first friend to
Yeah,
ever
seen us.
see us do
Right.
anything.
Yeah,
so
see
it's-
us bomb on stage.
You're gonna see us bomb.
Well,
me on bomb on stage
Well,
today.
we'll all be bombing.
Yep. And that is, I think, 1 minute. So
Wow.
Basically, yeah.
yeah. So do you that's it. You have everything.
Yeah,
you
dude.
said?
Thanks for coming
guess
on.
so.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you,
Yeah, dude.
Skylar.
Of course. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah.
Of course.
I
Catch
love
us
I
again
love
on-
you guys.
Yeah,
Love you.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in next week.
Yeah, and remember, guys, don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Peace. Boom.
Later.
It's not what you wanted from me. You've been trying to make sense of my mistakes. My mistakes, yeah.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for watching this episode. Please hit that subscribe button. Go follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
And remember, if you want to go the extra mile, you can also support us over on Patreon, where in the future we'll be able to get unreleased content and content that nobody else can see. And remember, guys, don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Peace.